You know, I'm just saying, you know. Yeah, this is perfect.
Okay.
So.
And I mean that seriously, right? When I'm supposed to get on the Superman train, you know, no, seriously.
You know
supposed to get on the
what?
Superman train? He killed my wife.
Late Ilke at One so holding it down, bringing that street geek and nerd soul. What is up, my people, today? Oh yeah, we got Toks, and she'll say her last name.
Olagundoye.
It's a beautiful last name, and I ain't messing it up. I ain't doing that. So you play Cat Grant.
I do.
You know, you getting your report on.
Yes.
How do you approach someone who's got the fire, got the reporting skills, and also can be snippy at times?
Well, I mean, it's really well written, first of all, so I didn't really have to do much work, but like read it and then show up. And I think, I don't know, they may have just cast it well because, you know, I'm a little snippy sometimes.
She's like, I'm sweet like that.
It's something that's kind of evolved over the amount of films that we've done now at this point. You know, trying to keep the humanity part of it.
Okay.
Keep them pretty relatable. I really enjoy the comedy that comes out of how sort of to the point he can be and almost sort of monosyllabic, you know?
Yeah.
So I love that. Sometimes I don't even have a line. Sometimes I might just go, and that says
and that
everything,
works.
you know? So I really like that sort of economical part of the character where he doesn't really have to say much to get his point across.
3 leaguers down and we only just got here.
I'm so honored to play Superman. Everyone here does such an amazing universe. I really think this DC world is just, they just do it the best, you know? I mean, Death of Superman was amazing.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
I think Reign of the Supermen, I think people are going to have sort of I think people are going to have a very positive experience with it too.
Darkseid is deliciously intellectual, you know? I mean, in his mind, I don't think murder is in his dictionary.
It's not on his radar like
No,
that.
not at all. That's a human concern.
You Superboy.
I'm
so
Superboy.
you're kind of good, you're kind of bad, you're kind of in the middle, you're kind of in the footsteps.
He's still figuring it out. He's still figuring it out.
Yeah.
He wants to be good, you know, but it's one of those things, he doesn't know how to do it yet. He was raised by Lex Luthor, which is, you know, the all-time...
He's not the best dad.
Yeah, you know, so he's a little bit of a... He's still trying to figure it out.
I can give each of you the power to be your own hero.
Hey, he's trying, man.
I guess he's trying, but that's why Cyborg Superman is back to show how it is going to be done from here on out.
Ooh,
I mean, that's really the deal. I mean, there's all these imposters and contenders for the throne out there.
Cyborg Superman, he's got it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Half man, half machine. Who doesn't want that?
So what about you and your identity do you put into the character when you're voicing Cyborg Superman?
Well, you know, I have to give a lot of credit, if not all credit, to Wes Gleason, who was our booth director. And this is my first foray into doing any sort of comic book animation. And so I didn't want to fall into traps.
Oh, okay.
And I think the traps is, you know, I'm used to doing a lot of live action stuff where you can rely on your face, but this I have to rely on the animators and what they do. The animators are fantastic, but I wanted to make sure I wasn't playing at something, you know, like
I feel you.
twirling the metaphorical mustache, that sort of thing. You know what I'm saying?
It would save me a lot of trouble.
He's very bad. Super bad. How do you approach
Well, that depends on who's talking.
Oh, well,
I
good
mean,
point.
You know, among Darkseid and his people, his followers, he's the king. He's regal.
He's cool.
He does. Have you ever seen him physically go out and harm someone directly? I'm just laying it out for
It's a good, you know what I mean? We didn't have you seen
He's
him
a puzzle.
do.
He's a puzzle master. Okay.
Yeah, he does.
And he knows how to intellectually goad people into doing what they think they desire for his purposes. That makes any sense.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
My highest rating on Rotten Tomatoes, Death of Superman.
I have to get back to work.
What does the legacy of Superman mean to you?
Oh, wow. Big question to start off. I think it's just the penultimate hero story, the goodness of humanity, ironically through an alien.
From the lens of an alien.
Right. But I think that, just that it's all worth something. And with these stories too, especially like the love story, and just the kindred, the community of Metropolis. I think that he's the glue, and I think that there's a common.
I never looked at it like that. But
yeah, there's a common ground there, and I think that the humanity of Superman is what is so attractive.
He's the OG, he's the guy. So it's one of those things of, he's that symbol of hope that's existed since the beginning, and he's carried through. That just wearing that symbol on your chest, I think it's just like such an empowering, amazing thing.
There's a lot to be learned from the amount of power he has.
Yeah.
And how that power can create a void when it goes away.
It seems like, to me anyways, like DC, the DC Trinity especially, right?
Yeah,
they're almost like icons.
To me, Superman represents hope. Always has. I started watching the films when I was a little girl, and I'm definitely not like a giant fan because I don't want to step on anyone's toes.
No,
I don't
but
know half of the stuff.
what
yeah,
he represents.
I grew up like watching the films and just the idea of taking the strengths you have, using them to help people. The fact that he was so humble. I always loved that. I always loved the fact that he hid who he was and didn't show it off. And
he's
just
the
did
best.
what he could. Yeah, just did
said
what
it.
he could because he could and didn't need to tell anyone about it. And I like that. I think he represents humility. I think he represents strength. I think he represents hope. Integrity,
It's one of those characters, a lot of people think that the idea is dated, but I don't. I think that that's a jaded way to look at Superman, and I think that it's the beacon of hope in a dark world.
Yeah, definitely.
And so it's like, if we're too cynical to appreciate that, then we need to take a long, hard look in the mirror. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think there's a kid in all of us, and sort of that can appreciate that sort of the pureness of that idea. And it's about, when you're the beacon of like sort of light and hope, you're going to cast the longest shadows, and that's why the world around him can be so dark. So there's a lot of really cool mythological sort of themes that you can play with Superman.
I like that look at it. For the folks at home, before we get out of here,
Sure.
Can we get some effort in? Can we get a little effort in?
If this fist came across me, I go,
I just look at what the story is, I get the script and I look at it and I'm just trying to figure out what is this story or what is the point of this story. And so a lot of times, again, I feel like if you just honor the story and you're trying to sort of highlight what the point of the story is, and whoever the character is, whatever they need to wherever they need to get, or whatever they need to go through, as long as we play that as honestly and as emotionally as possible, I feel like that's what I focus on.
So, all right, that's cool. Thanks for giving us a little bit of insight. So, guys, heard it here first. It's all about, tell that story. Just tell the story. Don't worry about anything.
The most important thing.
Like, this is a dream job. So I'm always trying to bring that energy like it's my first day on the gig.
I grew up a DC fan. I was an only kid raised by my aunt, and she would give me $2 a week to get my comic fix on.
Get the comics.
And I would get my 80-page giant comics, and I'd be happy as a pig in shit because I could read those 80 pages over and over and over again. That was my first scripts, actually.
Ooh.
That's what I would, all the bam, pow, zip, boom, bam stuff. I did it excellently.
Superman, Batman, road trip comedy movie.
It could work.
Yeah.
It could work. I see them just stuck together, stewing, sometimes happy, sometimes mad, sometimes singing in the car.
True Detective Season 4.
You know what? I'm not mad at that.
True Detective Comics.
Look, look, pay us. We got, look, just right here. Just look, just see, you see this? He's bringing you gems.